treat number 1, treat number 2, and treat number 3. And we are ready. Well, one doesn't want to take the treat, but we are ready to go for another update for Missing Mondays. And guess what? I've got some great news for at the top of that. But first,
Aloha and welcome to the Local My Life.
So I told you guys I have some great news for those of you who may be in one of a couple different groups with me or happen to have been getting messages from me over the last hour and a half or so. Amazing news, little Riley was found. Great news, KK, the best news. I'm hoping the fire alarm doesn't start going off. Hello, fire alarm, please be quiet. Thank you. And for all of you who do not know the fire alarm is my African gray parrot that you just heard that loves to sound like a fire alarm. But amazing news about Riley. Yes, she was found. Even more amazing, guys. This is the power of Amber Alerts and people coming together. Okay. She was literally found within 15 or so minutes after, okay, let's say an hour just to make it safe, okay, of the Amber Alert going out. But we're literally talking less than a half hour that she was found. And, hey, Matt, how you doing? And the news that all just came together and people started getting going. So anyhow, just to update everyone on what happened with her. Those of you who were here about 2 hours ago, you heard we had a new Amber Alert out for a little girl, 12 minutes, KK, exactly. And then with police knowing and all that, it's amazing. What had happened was a welfare check was done on a woman and her child. The woman was found dead. Thank you, Matt. Oh my God. I love you. Okay, I'll send you money later on for that little comment. Thank you. And also, but yeah, so basically what happened, someone just dropped their treat. Yeah, okay, there's another treat. That's good. So they went into the house and they found the mother had been killed, murdered, and the little girl was gone. So they put the word out. Hello, Aussie True Crime. They put the word out. They were looking for the little girl, a vehicle, and the dad. They did find both of them. Basically, what happened, they were found all the way in Tennessee. So again, more reason why when we get this, hello, missing in life, hey, girl, when we get these Amber Alerts, we need to be looking at into other states. Okay, here we are again, okay, from North Carolina to Tennessee. And yeah, Sandra, I was jumping up and down. Sleuth Mom sent me the information initially, and I was literally, I was doing a little dance, put it that way. So what had happened basically is there was an accident on one of the interstates outside of Murfreesboro. Sorry, I'm Holly girl living in Hawaii. I have a problem with pronunciations. Murfreesboro in Tennessee. There was a crash on the Interstate 24 and the vehicle was abandoned. The guy turned out to be her dad, had abandoned the car, and she and her dad escaped. Police found the vehicle, of course, recognized the vehicle immediately, okay, license plate, all that, and started looking around. They were then found at a hotel, a Select Inn motel on South Church Street in Murfreesboro. Riley was unharmed. So she's on her way home to be with family. Like I said before, this little girl has had her whole life totally changed now. Okay, her mom's been taken away from her now. And her father, I hate to say it, but her father's been taken away from her too. No matter what, a 3-year-old still loves their parents no matter what's happened. And all this has happened. So please keep her and her whole family in your prayers right now. But that was such amazing news that quickly all that came together. So just wanted to finish that one up because I know a lot of people were interested in what was going on. And again, the reason why it's so important for us to share whatever information we have out, okay? Again, if people were thinking, oh, well, I don't live in North Carolina, I don't need to send anything. I live in Tennessee. Why would I have to send anything? Well, she was found in Tennessee. I mean, isn't that so? I'm going to try to give the bird something. Of course, the bird doesn't want something, the bird wants out. And so happy that it ended up that way. So now for Harmony, segue into our discussion on Harmony tonight. There's a lot of you guys have known ever since we talked about Harmony and everything and started this discussion. There's been a lot of stuff going on since I started talking on Monday about her. Sorry, puppy jumped down. So first of all, before we go into this, a lot of people have switched the discussion from Harmony into her dad and her mom. I can't remind you guys enough. This is about Harmony. It's not about her mom. It's not about her dad. Yes, we're going to sit here and talk about it. We're going to go through the whole, the affidavits and stuff like that. But we need to find this little girl. And yes, missing in life, this is Harmony is the one who has a little brother, Jameson, who adores his big sister. And it's actually, if it hadn't been for her little brother, no one would have been looking for this little girl. I hate to say it. So just a reminder, this is, and that's why I'm starting here with this screen with 5 shots of her. This is who we need to be looking for. We do not need to be getting into long, drawn-out 5-hour lives about, okay, what happened with this and what happened with that, and did the mom do this or did the mom do that or anything like that. That's not what this is all about. It's about finding this little girl who is still missing right now. So please keep the information out there. Yes, we keep her at the forefront of everything by having the long discussions and stuff like that. And that's why I'm so happy those of you guys who got all the Twitters out, the tweets out, okay, Instagrams out, things like that. What did I look at my message? Wow, no, I did not. I did not see it. What's here? It's coming up. Oh my God. Oh my God, yes. Yeah, exactly. And so I'm gonna have to, we'll go through that one, Sleuth Mom. There's so much we gotta continue. Remember, I'm gonna have to share this one out. And there's a lot of people out there right now because there is so much going on. We hurt for this little girl. This little girl had no chance. Hey, Caitlin, this little girl was abandoned multiple times. Does that mean her mom loves her or doesn't love her? Of course her mom loves her. Okay, and her mom probably did what she thought was best. Was it? Probably not. Could she have looked harder? Probably. But you know what? We're all in, it's hard because we were going through this time period, and in the end, we have a little boy who wants to see his big sister. And I read something today that truly broke my heart. This little boy, Jameson, still is expecting to see his sister. Jameson was adopted, just as a reminder, Jameson was adopted by a couple. And one of his fathers had made the comment that he kept saying he wants to see, hi, Miss B. He wants to see his big sister. And they realized just how important this big sister was. And they actually tried to adopt. And they were, okay, at that point, no, dad had custody and that was out the door. I guess sometime in the last couple days, they were looking at something on their computers like all of us are doing. And Harmony's picture came up. And Jameson saw the picture. He thought it was a FaceTime phone call with his big sister. He blew a kiss at his big sister, thinking that was her. When I heard that little story, he's still hoping. He doesn't know what's going on. His dads know, but he doesn't know anything about all this. All he knows is he wants his big sister back. So just a reminder, that's who we're here for. We're here for this little girl on the screen right now, the one who's eating ice cream. Okay, the one with her dolls. The other story that really got me about the relationship between these two kids was when his dads brought him in and adopted him, he came with one bag or suitcase. And when they opened it up, there was one thing in there, Tickle Me Elmo. That was it. And they found out later that Tickle Me Elmo was given to him by Harmony because he didn't have anything else. And she gave him a Tickle Me Elmo. I don't know the full story behind that, but that shows the love that she had for that little brother at wanting to make sure he was comforted. And so we can't forget who this is all about as we go through this today. So as a reminder, again, this is started as a case where you had two parents. Okay, initially, mom was saying dad had Harmony. Dad was saying mom had Harmony. Well, yeah, as we're going to find out throughout this whole thing, dad had Harmony. Dad had Harmony. Mom had given up custody of Harmony earlier, and you can please go back to my earlier video and you can get a lot of information on that. The one thing this has reminded me of, though, is no matter how hard of a life a child has, they love their parents. No matter how many times a child is hurt by a parent or turned on by their parent or whatever, they love that parent. Look at this, 2 pictures with parents, and that girl is smiling and full of love in both of them. She loved her parents. And when you hear about a child being turned on, it really hurts to see people who could do that. And that's why even this case with Riley right now, Riley's lost her dad and her mom in just one day. So Harmony is who we're here for. We're going to go into in just a second and we're going to read our way through everything from the court documents today. And but again, Harmony is who we're looking for. She disappeared 2 years ago. You've seen the pictures of her here. Okay, she's 7 years old now. We don't know what's happened to her, guys. She could very well still be alive. We know there's drugs involved in this whole case. And we've just recently seen what drugs can do in a family. Okay, people will sell children. I'm not saying that's happened here. I'm saying we don't know. She could be still with us. She could be gone. We don't know. What we do know is we have the power to get her story out to people. We have the ability to share, okay, these pictures and share her name. So, I'm going to go real quickly and we're going to hopefully get this, hopefully it'll work the way I'm planning it to work. Okay. These are, and I'm going to try to follow in chat also if there's questions or anything like that. Yes, Caitlin, she really looked out for her brother. She really looked out for her brother. And it's just, on the other hand, I can say this. Her brother, no matter what happens, is going to have an amazing memory of his big sister. Okay, he has been loved by many people. His dads love him. His big sister loved him. He's got, I think, other siblings now who love him. And that's the one thing you got to look for the positives anywhere out there. So anyhow, as you guys know, Dad was arrested this morning. Okay, and paperwork started coming out as to how all this, and amazingly, all the facts started connecting in. Family was very, very involved in talking to people on Facebook, and they were able to give us quite a bit of information that matches up now. So we're going to be going back and forth. Remember, this is a 2-year thing as we go through this. And pop in questions, any questions you guys have in top chat. Let me switch that over to live chat real quick so I have this done correctly. And we'll see what we can do on getting through. So on November 18th, the Manchester Police Department received a call from a woman determined to be crystal sorry regarding her daughter, HM. HM is Harmony. And looks like we got a birth date there. Sori reported that Harmony, who was in the physical custody of her ex, was missing and that she hadn't seen Harmony in over 6 months. Donna, welcome, my dear. Arrest charges day, interference with custody. Do you think this is a state custody since mom does not have custody? This is where it's going to be very interesting. Is I'm not sure how they're going to. Personally, I'm furious right now with the state on how this little girl should have been checked on. And I'm sorry, I'm going very strong on that right now, but there is definitely, she was failed on multiple levels. But yeah, it'll be interesting. There are custody things involved here, as we'll notice when we get to the end. Sori identified her ex as Adam Michael Montgomery. An employee of the Manchester PD contacted DCYF, or Child's Family Services, basically, and learned the previous addresses associated with Adam. Manchester police officers checked those addresses, but were unable to locate Adam or Harmony. On December 27th of this year, DCYF notified Manchester Police Department that they were unable to locate Harmony also. Consequently, Manchester PD initiated an investigation into the whereabouts of Harmony. Over the following days, members of the PD learned that Harmony had not been physically seen since October or November of 2019. The child's biological mother, Crystal Sori, who resides in Massachusetts, notified authorities that she had not seen the child since around Easter of 2019. That was the last time, and we'll get through part of that. The child had been in the physical and legal custody of her biological father, Adam Montgomery, and we've got redacted bits of information there. The case was subsequently assigned to Detective John Dunleavy of the Juvenile Division of the Manchester PD. During Detective Dunleavy's follow-up with Crystal, she explained she had lost custody of the child in July of 2018 to the state of Massachusetts, in part due to substance abuse issues, which goes along with a lot of what we had been hearing. Crystal said that both she and Adam had past issues with substance abuse. That goes along with the whole thing that everyone was talking about with how her father was involved in a heroin deal that went bad, and he shot at someone's head and shot someone in the head. Since then, Crystal had regained sobriety and unsuccessfully made attempts throughout 2001 to locate Adam and Harmony. Adam and his subsequent partner, Kayla Montgomery, had blocked all communication from Crystal through phone numbers and social media applications. Crystal said over the years, she made attempts to locate the child by contacting various schools and driving by addresses associated with Adam, but was unable to make any progress. A lot of these, just so you guys know, one things that I think I can comfortably say, a lot of the push to find Harmony was coming from the Jameson's adoptive parents trying to find Harmony so that they could connect brother and sister. And they were working with mom trying to find out, because that was the one person they knew how to contact. Crystal said that she saw Harmony during a FaceTime video call with Adam around Easter of 2019. So this is the last time she saw Harmony. Crystal stated Adam was visible in the background of the video call. Crystal recalled that Harmony seemed frightened and believes that was the last time she actually saw her daughter. So now we're seeing mom last saw her Easter of 2019. She was seen by other people up until October of 2019, potentially November. There's some November stuff we're going to see here. Let's see here. Sorry, gang. Let's go here now. Okay, make it bigger so you guys can see, because I know some of you are reading along. Beginning on December 27th, members of the Manchester PD actively made attempts to track down Adam and talk to involved family members to establish the last time Harmony was physically observed and known to be safe. Officers and investigators were initially unable to make contact with Adam via phone. However, investigators were able to make contact with various family members, including parties associated with Adam who resided in Florida. Much of Adam's family lives in Florida. So, and a lot of them have been very vocal about what they were seeing during that time period. On December 30th, Detective Christopher Abele was able to make contact with Adam's brother, Michael Montgomery, who raised concern for HM's welfare. Michael recalled during his last physical contact with Harmony and Adam, he had concerns that Adam was physically abusive towards Harmony. Michael recalled that Adam was super short with the child, and he learned through other family members that Adam had given Harmony a black eye. So this is where we're starting to get some miscommunication going on out there. I heard quite a bit today where people are saying, oh, Adam, Harmony's dad, caused her to go blind. That's not what's being said in this document. What the document is saying is that dad caused a black eye. For those who've been looking, okay, Harmony had glasses as far back as the age of 2. Okay, she's had issues with her eyesight, and I have heard some information that her brother may have had eye issues also. So there could be congenital issues going on. There's a lot of things that could be going on, but the eye issue was not causing her to go blind. It was a black eye from mistreatment. And on December 30th, detective also spoke with Adam's uncle, Kevin Montgomery, regarding concerns for Harmony, that Kevin said he had not seen Adam or Harmony. She was born that way, Sleuth Mom. Okay. I was pretty sure of that, but I had not heard verification of it, but I was pretty sure at age 2, yeah, that she had to have been born congenital issues or something like that. So Kevin had said that he had not seen Adam or Harmony since late 2019. However, Kevin had firsthand knowledge of the child's eye injury from 2019. So that's 2 family members now who could corroborate this. Kevin said he returned to Manchester in July 2019 after a trip to Florida and observed Harmony with a black eye. Kevin notified DCYF after the fact with the concern for the injury. Okay, we have something redacted at that point. During his December 30th interview with Kevin, Detective Abele asked Kevin how Harmony sustained the injury to her eye. Kevin stated that Adam told him that he had caused the injury to Harmony. Adam told Kevin at the time, quote, "I bashed her around this house." Adam explained that he had left Harmony, who would have been 5 years old at the time, in charge of watching her infant brother while Adam was in the bathroom. Allegedly, the younger brother started crying during that time. Adam told Kevin that he returned and found Harmony holding her hand over the child's mouth to stop him from crying. Kevin said he believed that Adam had relapsed on drugs during that time frame. Kevin recalled other forms of abusive discipline during that time frame that raised his concerns. Kevin recalled Harmony being spanked hard on the butt, Harmony being forced to stand in the corner for hours, and Adam ordering Harmony to scrub the toilet with her own toothbrush. Okay, so couple things here, okay, that I'm seeing initially. You're leaving a 5-year-old in charge of your infant child while you run to the bathroom. Okay, now I'm not saying that as a parent, you need to run to the bathroom and stuff like that. But you know what? You also realize a 5-year-old does not have the ability to make decisions if there's an emergency. And if she's putting her hand, most 5-year-olds, if their younger brother or sister is crying really loudly, they don't know how to quiet the child. They may put their hand over their mouth. That's usually one reason why us moms and dads have to say, no, that's not what we do. We don't do that. We have to talk to the child about that. Okay, on top of that, what if in this situation, they've been yelled at for crying out loud? She could have also been trying to get the baby not to cry because she didn't want to upset anyone either. So there were a lot of things going on there. Then you get into the other stuff. Okay, I'm not going to get into the whole thing about spanking and stuff like that. But what it sounds like here is spanked hard. Standing in the corner. We're all used to timeouts. Okay, but this is sounding like for police to be putting this type of stuff in here, you're talking a step beyond the normal timeout. Hours, okay? And then scrubbing the toilet with her toothbrush. Scrubbing the toilet with any toothbrush is bad enough, but her own toothbrush. Now, tell me right now, is the poor kid having to brush her own teeth with that toothbrush afterwards? I'm sorry, gang, if that sounds gross. But that is, I'm sorry, that's abuse. That's abuse. That's not taking care of your child. That's putting your child at risk of getting sick later on. Okay, and it would make sense if he had relapsed on drugs at that point, because that would be the type of thought process that might have been going on in his head at that point. So we have a whole section here that was at this point redacted. So moving on. Okay, but yeah, there is a lot, Pandora, by the way, hi, my dear, there is a lot of abuse going on in this case. I'm sorry, but there definitely is. And there's a lot more, as you can see from the redactions, that I think we're going to be hearing about as time goes on. On New Year's Eve of this year, Detective Dunleavy spoke with Adam's wife. So this is the second. Okay, this is not Harmony's mom, but Harmony's stepmom, Kayla Montgomery. Kayla shares 3 younger children with Adam, who are all presently accounted for. During Detective Dunleavy's follow-up with Kayla, he asked about the last time she physically saw Harmony. Kayla said that sometime in November or December of 2019, she saw Harmony one morning prior to going to work. Adam said that he was driving Harmony back to Crystal, or Mom, who was living in Lowell, Massachusetts at the time. Kayla said she believed Harmony had been returned to Crystal this whole time. Kayla claimed she never saw or heard about Harmony after that day. Kayla admitted that she had seen Harmony with the black eye in the past. However, she explained that Adam had told her it was caused by one of their other children hitting Harmony with a toy. Okay, so again, abuse and trying to find the reasons and excuses for it. And this does go in with some thoughts on when she was last seen. I had heard some more information with a little bit more clarified date, and it does fall in with this time period. And remember what I said. What was it that Kayla said? Kayla said she was told by Adam that he was driving Harmony back to her mom's. Remember that. It's going to come back. Next, Kayla had not physically seen Adam since late October 2021 and had not spoken with him since around mid-November 2021. Kayla claimed Adam was living in a sober house and had then left the area to live in Maine with another female. On New Year's Eve this year, patrol officers were able to make contact with Adam and his new girlfriend. Okay, so now we've got a third woman involved in this. Crystal, Kayla, and now Kelsey Small. Kelsey and him were sleeping in a vehicle in the area of Harville Street in Manchester. Investigators, including Detective Dunleavy, Detective Kozawick, and I responded to that location to speak with the couple. Small claimed that the girl, had claimed she'd been romantically involved with Adam for over a year. She was aware that Adam had 3 children from one mother and 1 from another prior to that. So that would have been Harmony. However, Small said that Adam was not in touch with any child from his previous relationship. Small claimed that Adam had never talked about Harmony, and she has no information on where she might be. During our roadside interview with Adam so now they're talking to Adam on New Year's Eve. He made some contradictory statements during our interaction, which raised our suspicion and concern for Harmony's well-being. Initially, let me get this pulled up. Okay, pull this. Initially, he claimed he does not presently have a traditional phone number, but he does have access to email sporadically. Okay, we each emphasize that our primary concern is locating Harmony. Now, put yourself in his place during this. He supposedly is finding out for the first time that his daughter's missing. And this is his reaction. So they're looking for Harmony and establishing that she is safe. Adam stopped answering questions multiple times and stated, quote, "I have nothing else to say." Quote, during our interaction with Adam, we stressed my concern that Harmony had not been physically observed in over 2 years and that we had concern for her and whether or not she was even alive. Parent hearing that their child may also not be alive. Adam did not exhibit much emotion or reaction to this. Adam said that he believed Harmony was in Massachusetts with her mother. Adam claimed he did not know why Crystal would say anything to the contrary. Similarly, he told us, quote, "I have nothing else to say." So again, like I said, I don't know about you guys. Okay, I don't have kids. Maybe I'm way off in left field. Let me know if I'm way off in left field here. But to me, if I had a child and someone had come up to me after I thought my child was with someone else, okay, and told me, "Oh, you know what? We think your child's been missing for 2 years and may not even be alive," I'd be flipping out. I would be, you couldn't hold me down at that point. That's how I'd be like with my animals, much less a child. And I'm not comparing a child to an animal because that's not, you can't compare the two. But I would be I would be going crazy. And I have nothing else to say. Tell me if I'm wrong, okay, in chat, seriously. Let me actually ask chat. Guys, put a 1 in chat if you would be climbing out trying to figure out what the heck's going on and, okay, they would have to be calming you down. Put a 2 if you'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have anything to say." Hey, Amber, I love you, my dear. Love you, love you. Because it throws me for a loop when I hear parents who do this. That they think that's the normal way of acting? Is that really no? Okay, thank you guys in chat because that's not normal acting in my eyes. Okay, and it just, wow. So moving on. We noted discrepancies between Adam's account that Crystal came up to Manchester to pick up Harmony and Kayla's account. So what that's telling us is that, see, we got ones popping up. Thank you guys, because it made no sense to me at all. So what we're being told here pretty much is he had 2 different stories he was giving to people. Exactly, Caitlin. I'd be inconsolable doing everything in my power, probably acting crazy. They would probably be having to give me medicines to calm me down at that point. Yeah, plain and simple. So it sounds to me from reading this, okay, well, let me finish it up and then we'll go back to see if that's what it makes sense to you also. Between Adam's account that Crystal came up to Manchester to pick up Harmony and Kayla's account that Adam claimed he was driving the child down to Massachusetts. Okay, the most concerning discrepancy being that Harmony's mother outright denied ever taking custody of Harmony from Adam at that time, or ever seeing Harmony following the video chat in April of 2019. Okay, so what this is, how I'm reading this right now, is Adam told the police that Crystal, Harmony's mom, drove up to Manchester, picked up Harmony, left with Harmony, and he never saw Harmony again. Okay, took over custody or whatever at that point, even though he had custody. Yet he's telling his current girlfriend, or one of his girlfriends, second girlfriend, that he was driving Harmony to her mom's house to drop her off. Totally different stories. They're not even related in the least bit. Okay, I mean, there's a huge difference between you driving down and someone driving up. Big difference between those 2 things. And plus, was his decision at that time that he would never see his daughter ever again? That says something else also there. So the investigation revealed, let's see, from that time we're seeing, okay. The investigation revealed that in November 2019, Crystal, mom, lived in Lowell, Massachusetts, no longer there, guys, with her boyfriend, Joseph Eckert. On New Year's Eve of this year, Joseph was interviewed, and he stated that he was living with Crystal in 2019, and Harmony was not with Crystal at all from October 2019 to the present. In fact, Joseph stated he had never met Harmony in person. So more, and now we're going into more things redacted, and going on again, New Year's Eve. I mean, these police guys, I'm going to say this again, for all the hell we give law enforcement at times, this is New Year's Eve, and they're out there trying to make a case and bring a child home while we're all out having fun and stuff. Hey guys, come here. And while we're out doing stuff like this, they're doing this. They're out there with us. And I think it's important for us to remember that. Yes, do police screw up at times? Yes, they do. But they've also worked their butts off too. Okay, so at about 16:10 hours, so 4:10 in the afternoon, Adam refused to provide any information on the whereabouts of Harmony. When someone asked for information about her whereabouts, Adam said words to the effect of, quote, "Not talking to you," quote, "I have nothing to say," and, quote, "If I'm not under arrest, I'm nothing." Again, he just found out his daughter's missing for 2 years, might not be alive. And this is his reaction. And then it's not like it's his reaction and then he goes and gets a lawyer or something like that because he just wants to cover himself with a lawyer or something. No, he says this stuff and then it's just like, okay, whatever, I'm off on my own now. He never planned on coming back and talking or anything like that. Okay. No, I got sleuth mom. This means that Crystal was not there. Whole different house, just to continue to clarify. Crystal was not involved in losing Harmony. No, I agree with you. And that's the thing. That's the thing. People are, and I agree with you, Sleuth Mom. And it's a hard one because people, yes, she lost custody of her. Lost custody of her child and signed it over. She did make the decision that her daughter would be better off somewhere else until she could get to that place. Her son, she signed over her son's custody to two loving parents. She's done those things. Now, the problem is because of her past, people want to point the finger and continue finding negative. People can screw up in their past. We've all done it. We've all done stuff that I wish to God we had not done. And, but she's also shown that she has changed. She is not involved in the disappearance whatsoever. So just because what happened when she was younger, and yes, I have issues with what happened earlier and stuff like that. There's some things I think should have been handled differently. I agree. But you can't blame her for Crystal being, for her daughter potentially losing her life or whatever happened. And also, yeah, just to let you guys, and that's the reason why we keep saying this is about a little girl. It's not about the parents and what led them to this. Okay, other than if there is a parent who is responsible for her being wherever she is right now, and that person needs to be brought to justice. So, due to the above facts, and so thank you, Sleuth Mom, for bringing that up because I wanted to keep bringing that up also. And I know it's a hard thing because we feel on both sides and we wish she had the most amazing childhood and stuff like that and all, but you got to give people chances to become better. Otherwise, what's the use of trying to become a better person? So due to the above facts and circumstances, so we're now kind of coming down to the end of this. Due to the facts and circumstances, I believe probable cause exists that Adam Montgomery committed the crime of second-degree assault. So now we're going back to the black eye. So she's got a black eye sometime between July 1st and July 22nd to 2019. Okay, and that is how they were able at that point to arrest him. And by connecting. Now, this is where I am going to state. People were called to do a checkup on this little girl. People were reporting about a black eye. Okay, I'm not sure how many of you guys know this and how many don't, but the reason why this finally got to the point where it is now is people finally got upset that no one was taking this seriously, and they wrote a letter to the mayor. Okay, because Child and Family Services was not following up on anything. And this little boy kept asking for his big sister, and someone had to do something. So they wrote a letter to the mayor saying, we need to find this little girl. This little girl is missing. We got to find her. Additionally, based off the facts and circumstances as described above, I believe probable cause exists that Adam Montgomery committed the crime of endangering the welfare of a child. Okay. I agree with you, LM. I agree. Both parents have major issues. Okay. Where I just want to make sure is we're keeping that. Love you, Phoenix. Get some rest, my dear. I love you tons. Get some rest and be thinking of you, girl. And that's the thing, LM. That's where I'm trying to find that balance, because they both have issues, and I've got major issues with mom. I've got major issues. As a woman who has always wanted to have a child of her own and cannot have a child of her own, and then I hear stories like this, it infuriates me. You have no idea how much it infuriates me. But I can't say she is responsible for what happened in the end. Now, could her actions have led up to something? Yeah, possibly. But so could the actions of Child and Family Services. Okay. So could many other actions. Okay. This little girl was failed on so many levels. It's not even funny. Okay. It's not funny anyhow, but yeah, they both have issues big time. Every person, yes, Sleuth Mom, every person in her life failed her, but people are waiting time digging into mom and haven't been digging into Adam or Kayla. I agree. People get into, because I think there's this thing that we feel that moms are always there for their child. You know what? Dad should be there for their child as much as a mom should be. They love their child just as much. How many dads are here in this chat right now? I guarantee you love your children just as much as your wife or baby mama does. And you are protecting them just as much as the female side does. But a lot of times we tend to look in certain, because we want to solve the thing. And that's the reason why I get so upset about speculation. Because the moment we get so focused on speculation and connecting things like that, we forget about the reason why we're here, which is the child. And, but I agree with you, Ellen. Yeah, no, you got it. Both have issues. Both have issues. One has criminal issues. The other, probably not criminal issues, just issues that led to other things. 1 second, let me just take. Okay, so they go on. There's reason to believe that endangering the welfare of a child exists. Okay, from November 2019 to January 4th. So this whole time she's been missing. Okay, there's been this endangering the welfare of a child. Okay, we can go back to how many other times we've heard of this thing happening where kids are gone for this time. Well, you know what? You are endangering. Who knows where she is right now? Okay, has she been? And I know this is conjecture and all that, but if she has been trafficked or something like that, endangering the welfare of a child right there every day of that whole time period. Okay, so he should have had her. He did not have her. He did not follow up on it. Further on, I believe that probable cause exists that Adam Montgomery committed the crime of endangering the welfare of the child on December 31st this year by knowingly endangering the welfare of her. He should be popping up saying, okay, this is what happened. This is when I last saw her. Okay, and not a lie, a blatant lie. Okay, what he is doing right now is preventing people from making sure she is safe. Okay. Last, I believe there's probable cause that he committed the offense of interference with custody by knowingly concealing any child under the age of 18 with the intent to conceal such child from the Division of Child, Youth, and Family Services and refuse to provide the police what they need to know. And then we have our signature right there. So let me pull up our little one here. So Harmony, as we've said, she was failed on multiple levels. My question comes, how many times police, not police, but Child and Family Services were involved in this case? And if there is one soapbox I will go on to over and over, yes, Donna, there's your answer. And over and over and over is this. They made the decision reuniting Harmony with her dad was the best thing they could do, right? Fine, that's fine. Hey, Tammy, welcome, my dear. And they made the decision that was the best thing that they could do. And I think that's wonderful. Reunification should be what we look at doing. But as part of reunification, we can't forget the safety of that child. Okay, we look at all these other situations where a child is put in danger. Okay, we've got Ariel Sellers, Isabella here, okay, in Hawaii, where things are played because, oh, well, you know what, adoption has occurred now, so there's no need to look at what's going on anymore. As if all of a sudden, the moment that adoption is signed, there's no chance of anything bad happening. Okay, in the case of here, Harmony is reconnected with dad, and it's like, okay, she's back with dad now. Everything's fine. We don't need to worry about things. Well, the problem is, and this is where we have to do, we know we have a broken system right now, gang, okay? And I'm sorry I'm getting up on my own little soapbox here. We know we have a problem with this system. The system is out of control on all sides. We've had this discussion here where there are people here in this chat right now who have had the ire of Child and Family Services not really trying to help them as a family, but trying to break the family apart. Yet on the other hand, you've got Child and Family Services not even trying to make sure the child is kept safe. There's got to be a balance between privacy and mental health and safety. There's got to be. Exactly, Janet. Let me pull up the comments here and everything. Exactly, Janet. Okay, I don't understand why they never checked on him, but when she was with her mother, they always checked on her and then took her away. And that's the thing. There was definite drug issues going on there. They had the proof that there were drug issues in the past. They had phone calls coming in from the family saying there's something wrong, and it was his family who was saying there was something wrong. Okay, and what about setting up a system where when something like this happens and reunification comes together, that for a year, whatever, I don't know what the time frame is, what's best. But what about mental health counseling? Because you're trying to get people talking again, mother-child, father-child. That often needs that counseling for dealing with the emotions. Okay, we heard about, okay, when he hit Harmony, it was because he got upset at how Harmony dealt with her little brother who was crying. Counseling, parental counseling, things like that might have helped in that case. Okay, getting that relationship, recognizing, as Sleuth Mom just said, okay, I would hate so much for Jameson if they don't, okay, Jameson would have needed, they could have had that relationship. Okay, because Jameson's parents realized very quickly that Jameson needed his big sister. And they were willing to open up their hearts and their homes for her. And if our system was set up in a way to help make sure that transition as the two were pulled apart happened slowly. And with counseling and all, it might make things go better in the end. You've got family members who have drug addiction issues. Yes, in the past, but drug addictions can come back. And I think in this case, they most likely did. And also, as much as I hate to say it, and I know people have a right to have privacy and all that, but what about testing just to make sure? These are children. This is not something where it doesn't matter what happens to the person. It's changing their lives. Let me see here. Donna, thank you so much for that. Child Services said in relation to this case, quote, contact with the family is gradually reduced after reunification. In less than a year, Harmony came up missing. Makes me, exactly. What is gradually reduced? Because I don't know, maybe there's more information I don't have my hands on right now, but it does not look like it was gradually reduced whatsoever. Because it looks like there were red flags popping up earlier. So, and yeah, Janet, anybody, and that's the thing. I think in each state, we all have to, and that's part of the problem here. Each state has a different set of rules. And in some states, it works wonderfully. In some states, it does not work. Janet's saying anybody I know that's gotten their kid back has had random checks. So where were those checks? And even outside the random checks, what happened to the actual checks when there were concerns? That's what scares me more than anything, is that family members are making concerns about the living environment. They're making concerns about a child having a black eye. And I don't see anything happening trying to protect the child. Let's see here, Sleuth Mom. The worst part is the black eye was in July. She only had her case closed in May. So two short months. But it's just slowly, gradually reduced. That 2 short months is not gradually reduced. That should have been followed up. Now, like I said before, how much of this was affected by COVID and excuses COVID gave people not to follow through on things? COVID definitely has made issues left and right for many things. Could that be part of what was going on here? Hey, we've got COVID going on. We don't know how to go visit people now and stuff like that. But 2019, there was still things that were missed here. There were no excuses. Sleep well and justice for Harmony. Let me see, LM. Thank you, my dear. Sleep well and justice for Harmony. No idea how this woman is talking to only 14 people with such conviction totally. And that's one of the issues. That's why I'm saying, you know what? I don't think you can say totally, okay, oh, mother of the year type thing. Okay. There's some other things that I've seen Facebook messages lately that have me infuriated. And I can see where things are going right now with stuff. But when it comes to the criminal actions here, the dad is at fault for what's happened. And I think it's important. Now, I do agree. I think the mom has some major issues. I don't like some of the responses I'm hearing right now. She had a daughter. She has other kids now. And and that's it, Sleuth Mom. That's why I'm saying, you know what? COVID didn't really pop into later now that I think about it. And also, I don't even know if COVID does count to all this stuff. This is just a case. This little girl was with the one thing that is repeated over and over and over throughout this whole thing is Child and Family Services. Okay. Child and Family Services were involved when under mom's care. Child and Family Services were involved when they were pulled out for foster care. Child and Family Services involved when put back in dad's care. And it disappeared. So what happened there? Okay, I'm a nursing home administrator. When we have something that goes wrong in one of our facilities, the first thing we do is not say, oh, now I'm not saying other places don't do this. I'm saying this is me. Okay, it's not, oh, no, we're not at fault for this or anything. We did everything the way we were supposed to. No, we're sitting down and we're going over what actually happened. And if it means going back 2 or 3 years to figure out what happened with our policies, what policy fell, what was it a training issue, how we need to fix things, what we need to do about that, things like that. I don't know if that ever happens with Child and Family Services. When something like this happens, are they sitting back down and Monday morning quarterbacking it? We would joke about calling it that, but that's what you were doing. Because no accident, no injury, no anything like this is acceptable, whether it's to someone who is a child, elderly, disabled, whatever. It's never acceptable. But things do happen. And that's where you make your system stronger and you speak more for your people that you serve. And that's what we would do. We would look and see if people were falling, what was leading to the falls. Okay, we would have standalone meetings once a week just to discuss every fall in the facility. So I do realize that Child and Family Services is overworked. There's a lot of kids involved. And but I think that's a lot of it, Donna. I don't think there is any accountability held because a lot of times Child and Family Services is tied to the state. They don't want that because you know what? That could lead to lawsuits and stuff like that. So it's easier not to hold them as responsible. They need to be held accountable. They are that last wall of prevention. They are that last bastion of hope to keep these kids safe. Okay, one of the groups of people that we follow here are runaways. You realize how many runaways are in the system? Why are they running away? Yeah, some of them are going to be just like most kids. They run away because they hit that time of life and, okay, just being a teenager sucks. Okay, but in many cases, they're also running away because of the situation they're in and no one's listening to them. We need to listen to these kids. We need to find out what it is that they are needing from us and how we're failing them. Because we should never have to get to the point where a child goes missing for 2 years before we start looking at a situation like this. So, Sleuth Mom, I agree with that. Yeah, probably similar to Samuel Olson's case. They likely got rid of her and organized their story, hoping not to get caught. There's very possible there. Agree, Tammy. Agree totally. They're never held accountable. Okay, judges aren't lawyers. Everyone gets to a point where they're kind of safe. And no one's going to hold them responsible unless we hold them responsible. Now, like I've also said, though, guys, we cannot hold other people responsible when we don't want to be part of the solution. And that's the problem. When you get a lot of people who want to complain and hold people responsible and talk about all the messed up things people are doing, but they don't want to be part of the solution. We can be part of the solution. Okay, you guys have been amazing this week in getting the story out of a missing little girl. Okay, today an Amber Alert goes out and within less than 30 minutes, the little girl is found. That's being part of the solution with that. Now, how can we be part of the solution for Child and Family Services? Well, we help them come up with ideas. We offer to become a CASA, okay? Become appointed to be one of the representatives that helps a child out. Yes, it takes a little bit of time, but I think if all of us have the time to sit on YouTube, we have the time to be able to do that. We have the time. You can tell them, you know what, I only have 20 hours a month. I can give you 2 hours a week or something like that. or maybe be able to help them in other ways, asking them out, asking them, okay, I realize you've got a lot of things you're dealing with. Is there anything else I can help with as a volunteer so that your people can go out and do the important stuff? We have to be part of that solution. We have to come together and talk about ideas. Okay, that was one of the things I remember doing one time with a nursing home issue that we were running into. We were looking at Alzheimer's issues as a community, not as a facility, but community. And we brought the community members in to talk about what are the things that we're seeing out here and how can we work together to solve these problems. And so, Tammy, I love this. Yeah. Family court needs to be open to the public. They need 12 people to decide, just like every other court. There is too much, I hate to say it, but there is too much court. People have gotten, power has gone to people's heads, and they start making decisions based off of what they want, not what is best. And I do think having an open public family court, 12 people jury. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Donna, they tried in the Gabriel Fernandez case and honestly thousands of other cases. And that's the thing. I think there's so many things that people keep trying and it feels overwhelming. I know it feels over all of us. We've talked about it before. We come here, how often, and we talk about how the system is failing people. But it gets overwhelming. So it's easier just to keep focusing on the issue rather than trying to look for the solutions to the issue, because it is overwhelming and it hurts. I'll be honest. I talk to Sleuth Mom about this all the time, how when you're covering missing children and stuff like that, you hear these stories. I started this thinking I would just be sharing a picture and a story. And I very quickly realized these aren't just pictures and stories. These are real people. These are kids whose lives will never be the same. Their mom's life will never be the same. The dad, the grandparents, and it starts destroying you inside. And I think that's one reason why it's easier just to kind of focus on the surface and just keep moving forward rather than looking for ways we can help each other solve. And LM, what we got here. Why didn't the uncles and aunts and friends and grandparents step up when Harmony sat in a corner with a black eye? Stop shifting. LM, I think that's part of the thing is and I do not know the full thing on how many times and stuff like that. And I still have issues because to me, I would have been pounding the concrete and going on Facebook and all these other places trying to get the word out. From what I am hearing, family members did make multiple complaints. They kept going back to Child and Protective Services saying, something's got to happen. We got to have this happen. We got to have this. Something has to happen. When she was getting the black eyes and stuff like that. And Child and Family Services kept pushing it. Well, there's nothing we can do. He's her dad. There's nothing we can do. Which to me is a load of crap. If a child has a black eye, there's something going on. But again, if he's telling the girlfriend that, she got hit in the eye, is that what he told Child and Family? We got to be open to all these other things. So I think so many things are broken, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I think the family felt like they really had no stand because they did not have custody or anything like that. He had I personally, once she went missing, I would have been out there on Facebook. I would have been going to the news channels. I would have been going everywhere else in the world. The fact that they had to go all the way to the point of writing a letter to the mayor does show me something. Because no one jumps to that level, unless they're at a point where they're like, what else can I do? But I think there's a lot of things out. This little girl was failed on so many levels. But I think a lot of it is, I don't know, it's frustrating. It's really frustrating. Sleuth Mom here. I think what it comes down to is not only is the family at fault, but the system is broken. And I think that's what the problem comes down to. This should have been caught. It should have been caught. She should not have been at that house. Okay, Ariel Sellers, exactly, Sleuth Mom. Ariel Sellers' case was the exact same thing. The abuse was reported and nothing was done about it. That's the problem. And you get to a point, just mental health psychology wise, when someone in positions of power keep telling you something for right or wrong. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying you get to the point where you're like, well, there's nothing left I can do. I keep doing this and this doesn't help and da 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 da. And I'm not sure if that ever, but that is actually a proven mental health thing that goes on. But it comes down to this fact. These kids should not keep having issues that are reported. Schools should not be reporting issues multiple times. Okay, just because someone was adopted or reunified or whatever else doesn't mean life is going to be normal. Many times, especially with reunification, they were pulled out because of issues to begin with. And we need to take it seriously. Donna here, I've been doing this 15 years. Every case takes part of my girl, that's what I've discovered, Donna. I mean, this truly, it takes a part of your soul. And I think it's important for us to remember the good out there too. And that's what a couple of us talk about. We all come together. When I see what people did with Harmony the other day, when we wanted to get the word out about her, and people were tagging and people were sharing and people were doing all this stuff, it shows that good that's still out there. Yes, there's a lot of evil out there, but there's a lot of good out there too. And if you lean on that good, it makes such a difference, because this destroys. It really does hurt to see day in and day out. Tammy, Sleuth Mom, there's a lot like Ariel 2019 reports made Child Protective Services not doing their job, always blaming. And that's the thing. That's the thing, okay? Long-term care does not get a lot of money, okay? Trust me. The amount of money reimbursement on the dollar is horrible. You're talking negatives. But you make things work. Does it work all the time? No. And some facilities do better than others, okay? I know that, and I don't want to, okay? In anything, you're going to have breakthrough cases. But you know what? There's no excuse for this wide ranging of an issue to be continuing. There should not be this type of point where the police have to spend this amount of time looking for a child that we should have known about 2 years ago because people kept reporting it. And why, let's see, why would the police not take a missing persons report earlier? That to me, you know what? If anyone has any information on this, let me know. I can tell you what my thought is on this. One second. My thought is, when you're dealing with a missing child that was part of the system and all that, the police, contact Child and Family Services and ask them to do the work. Okay, that legwork. They go to Child Family Services. Okay, we just got a report that we got a missing child. Can you please go follow up on this? Okay, now I think we're going to find a lot of stuff. If they really do a research on this thing, I think we're going to find so many holes and so many mistakes. I think we're going to have our eyes open big time if this actually gets the research done on it that needs to be done, the after action report done that needs to be done. But I think a lot of times what happens is they go to Child Family Services, and Child Family Services just says, oh yeah, we're on top of it. Or they don't come back and report back, which probably happened. If they never came back to the police, and the police probably never came back to them, and it's wrong. It's wrong. It's a child. LM. Oh, thank you. Thank you. You know, I love this whole group. I love this whole group because all of us are working towards the same thing. That's what I love about this whole group. LM, sleep well, my dear, and we will talk. We will talk. I love how this group, we're all here for the same reason. We're here for the kids, plain and simple. And we're not here to guess. We're not here to try to do things. Yes, part of being true crime is, yes, putting your dot to dots and trying to figure out what happened, but it's also having the responsibility in yourself to realize that you do not have all the answers because you do not have all the facts, and you've got to know that. So, yeah, you guys are just, that's why I love this community. And this community, what we're doing is trying to make sure more and more people know. It's like Sleuth Mom said, we've got so many people following on Harmony, and this is actually something I'm going to do too. I'll still cover Harmony if there's a big thing, but there's so many children out there who need a voice. And I know Sleuth Mom's doing the same thing right now. We need to start bringing in these other stories again and all that. A lot of people are going to cover Harmony now. A lot of people are covering Lena, things like that. So now I was watching a mother of a 13-year-old whose child went missing in the Philadelphia area, and she's just begging for anyone to help her find her daughter or get the word out. And that's what we're doing here as the community, is just getting that word out. Okay, and trying to work, because we can't be there searching. So this is the one thing we can do here, is just try to be part of that community. So let's see, Donna, what we got here. Mostly subcontractors are who run family services. And I agree with that. I think you need to start, it's kind of like in a way police and all too. You got to have some specialties in there. Okay, many of these people probably don't know the first thing about social services. Okay, social work, psychology. A lot of these people are, okay, coming in on a subcontract level. Okay, and maybe they're not looking at things because it's lowest bid. Okay, I'm not saying that lowest bid can't be good quality. It can be. But that's when you have to have the scrutiny in place and the review system set in place to make sure you've got the right setup and the right things are happening. And also, I'm hoping they find Harmony. I'm hoping myself at this point, okay, these are my plans. Okay, we kind of went through the whole thing. This is where I'm hoping things go now with Harmony. Her dad has been arrested. I'm hoping this is what is needed to get him to speak, because he wasn't going to speak otherwise. So maybe at this point, he will speak up and we can find out where this little girl is. Because as much as I hate to say it, there's one person who loves her. I wish I could say there were tons and tons of other people who should love her that love her, and I'm sure they love her in their own way, but there's one person who loves her completely with no preconceived ideas or anything else, and that's Jameson, her brother. That little boy who saw his big sister on the TV screen earlier today, on the computer screen, and blew a kiss at her because he thought she was on FaceTime. I'm hoping we can get him an answer, because the longer this goes, the harder it is. His dads are having to try to balance all this stuff right now, and they care about this little boy. And Tammy here, I share so many children, most are foster care children. Where are all these children? Exactly, Tammy. Tammy, you've been, see, that's the thing. This community is, we're trying to get it out. There's so many of us. And so many of you guys are right here in this chat right now because we're all doing it together. We're trying to figure out, why are these foster kids going missing? Why is there, I was talking to Sleuth Mom, why are there so many people going missing in the Philadelphia area? If anyone ever wants to look at something really, really scary, go take a look at the number of runaways and missing children in Philadelphia. And go see how they disappear off the list as disappeared when they've never been found. It's scary. They need someone to speak up for them. That's what we can do. That's our part. That's our part. Sleuth Mom, exactly. Yes, want to share all the stories we can. I was super happy looking through the missing group for which kiddo I was going to cover, and there were, yes, isn't that the greatest? I did that, what was it, 2 weeks ago? I was looking for, okay, who do I cover for Missing Mondays this week? And I was like, oh, here, oh, found, and part of me is like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to have what I know, good mom. There's plenty out there. But the fact that there were so many that had been found, that's the power of social media. No matter what, and yes, social media can become very negative because of the fact that people get into, oh, I know more than the police and stuff like that. But you know what? When used right, we find people. We get the word out like today. Riley goes missing in one state. She's found literally less than 30 minutes after the Amber Alert goes out in a different state. Yes, I'm sure Dad getting in the car accident and stuff like that really helped in finding them. But you know what? She was found quickly. So there's so many things, and those are the discussions we can start having here as a community. We can have the discussions such as Philadelphia. We can have the discussions of what's happening to these foster children. What's happening to the runaways? Why are we treating runaways like a subset that shouldn't be concerned about? Okay, we can talk about, okay, all these different areas. We could talk about Philadelphia. All these things we could talk about and figure out what these Amber Alerts. I keep hearing people talk about how the Amber Alert system needs to be revamped or other things started. We are, okay, number one, KK, we will get him answers. And number two, Tammy, you hit it on the head. We are their voice. They don't have a voice. These parents are begging for a voice. Okay, I look at the parents of Michael Vaughn's monkey, Brandy's mom, Brandy. They need a voice. They need people to help get the word out. This mom who was like begging any media agency to pick up the story about her daughter. Okay, they need a voice. We can be their voice. We could be that finger that shares a screenshot. And also, I just want to thank all you guys. I don't want to continue this on forever and ever and ever because I can talk forever and ever and ever. Trust me. I'm real good at it. And but you guys, I really appreciate this whole group because I'm seeing a community that's being made, okay, a community that is not based on one creator. It's a community based on not true crime, but finding missing people. It's a community based off of love and care and wanting to do what's best for people who need our help. And that is one of the best feelings to see happen possible. I wish we didn't need it, but everyone's here. So I really want to thank all you guys for doing that. I'm going to close with this one last comment here of Sleuth Moms. Every missing person is only one set of eyes away from being found. Our job is to help make sure all of their eyes are seeing them. So thank all of you guys so much for hanging out tonight with me, going through this. We will share more information with you on other stories as they pop up. Again, if anyone has anyone they would like to see a story shared about, please email me at thelocalmylife@gmail.com so that we can get their story told. I'm reading Tammy's thing. Yes, exactly. There's something really wrong when you have 15 kids, missing girls, and no problems, and everyone just blames it on runaways. I'm tired of that. Okay, whether they're runaways or not, they're in danger, and they need someone to speak up for them. So, love all you guys so much. I will be talking to you in the future. Those of you who've been in my channel know that my likes are all over the place. This is where my heart really is. However, I do on Fridays a mental health live where we just talk about anything from anxiety to depression to you name it. Basically, a place where we can all learn to work on ourselves and become the people we're supposed to be. And then, of course, Cantina Friday night is just having a blast. It's a little crazy. And but love all you guys. I can't wait to get to know those of you who are new more. Those of you who I know, you guys know I love you to death. So I will see y'all later. Aloha, mahalo, and talk to you later. Bye-bye.